What is this
A
place?
vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are up...
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding! Just kidding! Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, mademoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wants That's all Paimon thinks about, bro. Maybe he's Detective Paimon.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove
How you
with
doing,
you?
Madness?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Same.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it.
Cursing that
Please
person.
sit tight for a moment.
Never
You'll get to
mind.
taste my awesome snack soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
Look at me, they
I
really
was
do.
applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Yes,
Well,
only 3
eating
Paimon,
too many
damn.
sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and no need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then.
That's only
Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines.
I need some
The
macaroni.
magician twins could have committed the crimes,
So
of
hard to
course,
find.
but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to
Or
murder
maybe
Cowl before making her
lower?
escape?
Lower? I thought I raised it. Let me see. Is this better? I don't know.
That's right.
I
And
thought
even
I
if she
turned it
had
up.
tampered
Maybe I
with the
turned it
setup,
down.
she would need to understand the
we
entire
are.
trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
I
From the
thought we
sound
were
of
pretty
things,
thorough.
this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are
Okay,
my
fine.
specialty after all.
Did you
And
solve
I
it?
see
Like
you-
who done it?
5?
I have
Oh, that could be
theories,
right.
but I haven't solved it yet.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Yep, yeah. I have theories, but I don't.
Being greedy is
know if
one
we've done
thing,
it
but
yet.
besides, Paimon knows that if she
I'm
ate too
thinking
many, then others
that
wouldn't
maybe
have
it was
enough.
like, I don't know, bro. Cause if it was Cowl, he's dead.
Wait,
So,
even you
and
don't
then
know
Farina, I don't know if it was Farina. She was there the whole time, but you never know.
If Paimon
And
ate
then
those 2
the
extra
Chief
macarons,
Justice.
then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Paimon
Malus,
did.
set up the stove again if you would.
Huh?
Paimon did.
What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
But maybe it was like Nuva,
And I have the egg, sugar,
you
and
know,
almonds.
Chief Justice. Maybe it was the Chief Justice, because he was there
It's
before
really
anyone.
easier, huh?
That wouldn't make too much sense though.
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea, Paimon. I do need to look at these notes. Oh? I got more stuff? I have a royal silver urn to be set. Concert's final hour. Huh. I have a lot of purple ones now. I know that. Wait, that's not what I was looking for. Books. I'm getting sidetracked. Is this? No. Where is it?
Whoever the murderer was, this is probably a prop too. Oh, looks like you could hook onto a lot of things.
There are many pieces. Yeah.
This flower vase is probably a prop for the show. But it also could have been used in the crime.
Yeah. So, I think there was a struggle.
You think about it for a bit, traveler.
And they look wet.
People
There
needed to
was
register and
definitely a
reserve a seat
struggle.
for the show. That, combined with this number selector, could allow you to pick a young lady instead of some old fogey.
That's true, but who's in charge of the number selector? Because if it was Cowl, he's
His robe
dead.
was obviously tampered with.
It sounds like it was Cowl, but he's dead,
Why would
which
it
is
be
crazy.
him? How strange.
Why would it be him? But like, I feel like he was the only one. Yeah, his job was setting up and searching the props of those systems. It could be him, but he's dead.
No wonder the serial disappearances never got solved. We all heard that noise, didn't we?
A thump. Maybe there was a third person. Damn. Wait. Lenny and Lynette did say that they're twins. So maybe it was Lenny. Not Lenny, Lynette who came out the box at the end. And Lenny was struggling with Halsey in the box. Remember the first mysteries at the beginning? Let me think. The water had risen over time, right? The serial disappearances with a young woman. Oh, and why Lenny is not a cat like his sister. That doesn't makes no sense unless his parents were like one human, one cat. Then it would make no sense. I'm not sure if it's part, but whatever. That I feel like there's another one, but I do not remember. I feel like there's another one. Oh no, you missing one? I'm missing one. Let me think. I said the water. I said the serial disappearances. I said the tail cat thing. The before you left the port. Before I left the port. Before I left the port, what was it? I have no idea. I have no idea. What was it? Before we left the port. Was it? No. Oh my god, was it something with child? No, it wasn't. I don't think that was a. I I do actually. I have no idea. Was it the thing with child? Or no? Cause that was just a altercation. That was just him and the thing. I do actually. I have no clue.
The performance would not have been visible from where the doors were guarded.
No, child was in the city.
If
Yeah, that
Paimon
was the
were
city.
a
That was
beauty,
in the port.
She would have snuck back into the audience seating.
Yes, please tell, cause I have no idea. The robber doesn't it? The Oh my god, wait. Cause they looked similar, but they were in different clothing. The robber. Oh my god, wait. While everyone was come on, Lenny said it. While everyone was like focused on something else, the robber had very smoothly stole something from a guy.
Well,
So maybe the
there
same
is
thing
no
happened.
chance Paimon could have seen that the
Remember
box
who
had
it was
changed.
that she stole from? Or who the robber was?
And that's why only the two of them
The robber
can
was?
perform this trick.
I know it was a chick, and it looked pretty similar to the person who was abducted, who was reported
There was
missing.
no third person. And Paimon didn't eat more than 3 macarons either.
Similar? Yeah, they did look similar. Like they might have been the same person, similar.
Just for a magic trick? That size wouldn't have been a problem for Paimon.
They were small. I don't know. I don't know. They seemed similar though. They seemed very similar though. I don't know. Or maybe any who was continuing. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Okay. It said 8. Let's continue. You're right. You're right.
Pot of tea with a couple of
I
nibbles.
feel like I'm gonna feel stupid once they reveal who it
A hot
was.
bowl of fresh kanji. That's dope breakfast right there.
I feel like I'm gonna feel stupid
Perfect way to
once
start
I
your
find
day.
out who it is. Okay, it's trial time. Let's see.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
It is, but I have thoughts.
Possible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
I don't blame you. There's always
Thanks,
something
Navia.
unexpected.
We'll
Yeah.
be going then.
Best of luck to you.
The rock, though. Maybe they were twins.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well,
How did your investigation go?
To be
It
honest,
went.
you might be disappointed.
You'll be disappointed. It was
We're
not.
already very grateful that you were willing to help. Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be
Oh,
expected,
Karina.
of course. The guilty can never produce
Such
proof
a-
of their innocence.
She's so mean, bro.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most
Don't you look
anticipated foe,
disappointed, right?
concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show
Okay.
incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
I want chips now, bro. God damn it.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Not gonna lie, it'd be so
Why, of course I
embarrassing,
do.
right? It'd be
Allow
crazy.
me to take the first shot and break this
If I
case
didn't do
wide
anything,
open.
so I should
Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
watch me get
There is
arrested
no way
after
you could
saying
have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact,
Right.
I'd say
Okay, you
were
know something. Am I
hardly
gonna get
in
locked
that
up, bro?
tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud.
Nah, there's no
One so
prison.
loud
There
that
is.
I believe practically
Nation of
everyone
Law.
heard it.
Wait, no.
Huh?
Well, it's the nation of law, so there has to be a prison. But like, how come we don't know about the sound? Cause maybe. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm sure
Damn,
he could
I
have
don't
heard a
know.
noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the
But I'm sure they have prison. But like, I should be alright though. Like, I should be able to win this case.
Those being... Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course,
Not these
I have
people.
armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded.
Accuse. I'm not the
and
accused.
my
I'm
foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
They put to it.
No wonder
Winnie.
he did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably
Lenny.
wasn't just an act.
Don't tell
That's
me, bruh.
irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
It would have been useful info though.
Indeed. Then perhaps you
Yeah.
could tell us everything that happened during
Come
that
on.
1 minute.
The lies.
Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and
Sure,
discord, I
celebrating.
suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Winnie, why didn't you tell us this before?
Right, Paimon?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Yes, they are. He sucks.
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
Off with you.
Sorry. Yes,
You
they're
should
true,
be,
Your Honor.
bro. Dang. Would have been useful to know.
I knew it.
You didn't know that.
That's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted.
He's the murderer. I don't think he's.
In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant
NPCs
seeks their
are
own
so
attorneys.
base, right?
What is there
Like,
left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request
needs a
is
gavel.
reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
damn, that's crazy. Who's been useful to know, Lenny?
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start.
More
We
time?
trusted you two. We based our
We
entire
did.
reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry,
That's
and
fine.
reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know
This
you've
is dark,
clashed
by the
with the
way.
Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense, huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Duh, which means he can't be a suspect if he wasn't there. And he claimed to hear a mysterious voice. Could have been the thief. That's far-fetched. A bit far-fetched. Hold on, I'm gonna get some chips real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, bro. Let's not. You want some chips? Yeah. Alright, I'm ready to go.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention, at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Hey.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
That's not true.
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
Afterward, Lenny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cal's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
One of those are true.
Does the
And
defendant
it's the,
side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Lenny experienced, and what he saw. According to Lenny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Lenny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Mm-hmm.
When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
That's right, Detective Paimon. That's right. Mm-hmm. Farina, you was wrong. Mm-hmm. That's right, Detective Paimon, you go.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words,
Yes, it was,
you
Paimon.
believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Exactly what I believe.
My reasoning?
That's your reasoning.
If that's the case, then if Carol hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. just evidence and then it wasn't.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon thinks there's something off here.
Oh. Oh. I was on a roll.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
That's the general question. The murderer was? Alright. Regarding the investigation report. Yeah. Who was the only person who knows? It was really Carl, bro.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
That's what I'm thinking.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
Dang it.
The deceased's name
I
is
think it's
Cowell.
Carl. Alex is correct, yeah. Should have won my gun in the first place.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... Linny was
Then I
not
think
in
it's
the
this.
tunnel at that moment.
Wrong. Dang. Okay.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent.
I select this clue.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to
Damn. Okay, okay.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that...
Damn, okay.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. The sound we heard may have come from a clash. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... No one
Oh, I already
entered
did
or
that.
left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
What? 98.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered
Fuck
or
is this?
left the opera house through its entrance.
Damn! Those two are right. Those two are right. Okay. Okay,
The
okay.
deceased's
Okay, okay.
name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Damn it.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Goodbye. I'm just wrong.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did she go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look,
I had it,
since
bro.
we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared. Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient?
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Wait.
Linny was not.
Alright, come on. We got this. We got this. We got this.
Which gave our criminal ample time. The sound
Yup.
we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. he would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Yup. Madam Cuff, right? So we're missing Halsey Go.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
The water. Yeah. Good night.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey
Adam,
disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
Okay.
But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
Yeah.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so
Is the dead
ridiculous
person
actually
guilty?
be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
No, it's not.
People can become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Oh, that's his gown.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Who's the prime
The
suspect? Kyle.
deceased's name is Cowl, Linny's assistant.
What item did Cobra use to control the timing of the...
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
Oh, crap. I put it wrong. But whatever.
The water from the primordial sea.
What item did Cobra use to control
Now
the
it
timing?
seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime? What item?
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fire.
Damn it, the rope. The rope was messed up.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
There we go. Okay. There we go.
Ahem. It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan,
Yeah, let's go, Paimon.
Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That
It
actually
does.
links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have
That
your
does
own
not make sense.
counterattack only to come back and wound you.
That makes no
Does
sense.
not clear all doubt. My dear
That makes
citizen,
someone planted that. There's no way. That doesn't even.
allow me to present
Unless,
my reasoning
unless
and
the
bring this
dude.
performance to a
Hold on,
swift
let me think.
close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Round
Having
2.
made
Yes.
modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless.
Okay.
Am I right? Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end
Damn.
of the road?
No.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss,
Navia?
I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick.
What could
One
it
that can
be?
bring a
That's
young
what I'm
woman
thinking.
who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final...
I understand.
And voila.
Okay. Oh shit.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait.
The
Isn't that
thief.
Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after...
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding
Lessen your
outside this
sentence?
room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl.
Oh my god, she was the one in the room.
What?
Wait.
Why?
Was she the one in the room?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Bruh.
I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
So she stole one,
That's
which
how
is
I
the
make a
thief
living.
that we
I
met
steal
on the
stuff here
thing.
and I'd never been caught before.
Before
I was noticed at
Linny.
the harbor a few days ago, and
Hey, no wonder you look
So wait.
familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
well, and I thought
Don't
that would
you
have been
remember
the end
her?
of it, but
Ah,
then the number
bro.
selector chose me.
Chose you.
He even mentioned
Think I
the
did?
Fortress of Narapede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was
Oh
nowhere to run
shit.
from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily Ann's perspective.
Yeah, she was very important. Nathan's in tunnel. After the getting cut down. Afterwards, he used the ventilation shaft. Lenny entered the tunnel?
Seems.
Damn it.
Seems.
Damn it. Still something that doesn't add up. That is true. Okay, I'm messing up now. Is it this? Damn. Okay. Return police. So this is not wrong. That's not wrong at all. Cow plans to use Paisley.
Seems.
Okay, what is happening? With the thump.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Yeah. Chillax. Lenny wanted all the credit and go.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
Yup.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel.
Something doesn't add up.
Discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Okay. Messed up a little bit the first time, but
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
yeah, she tried to walk away.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow,
No.
look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowl, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowl thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowl entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Yup.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Yeah, I'm missing something.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Was he part of it?
Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly, unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh, shit. Is he dead? He just turned to water. Okay.
No longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected
I
any less
thought
of them.
he was
An
dead.
outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Wow.
So, we're just going back now?
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Lenny.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
A knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when my parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So,
right? Like, this is not damn.
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's alright, I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
That was dark though, and that music made it darker. Wow. That was quite dark.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you
The thing
looking
is
for us,
over.
Navia?
Yeah.
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I
Yep.
do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though.
Right?
Don't you think
Nope.
so too?
It's not even over.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, should we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we
I
really
don't
need
like
to get
that.
that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's
You might as
treating
well
you,
be friends.
Paimon in.
Oh, wonderful! In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Bois? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
The vibes? Gosh. Quest completed. Gosh, 30 primos. Any soon? I am gonna end in like 20 minutes. Claim these. Claim this. If I can get enough primos for a 40 pull, I will be doing that. Most definitely. And what did Chi-Chi do? Let me just go some buffers. Damn it, I'm not trying to go to the map. Yeah, I'm gonna end it in 20 minutes. What is here? Yeah, I just claimed that. It was in 1.5 hours? Yeah, that was solid. So I'm trying to get enough for 40 pulls so I can attempt to get Ganyu. If I don't get enough by then, I'll just do a really big pull on the next banner. Like a 30 pull most likely. Hotel de Bard? That's far. And I have no waypoints. Well, teleport here gets closer. What's up, Dad? Makes it closer.
Let's dance.
Oh, that was Barbara. I wasn't trying to do Barbara. But it worked. Is this fish? Wait. Let me get all this fish. More fish. I will claim this over here so I have another teleport thing. There's 2 talks and 1 cutscene. I don't know if you make it in 20 minutes. I don't know. I gotta get there fast though. Get to run and razor. Oh, I wasn't trying to climb either. Just trying to. Can I just? Damn it. Okay, hold on. Alright. Like, I don't know why I couldn't just walk across, making the climbing thing a whole thing. Damn it. Okay, should I just went around? Because this is looking... Thank you. Okay. Maybe I should have went around, because that's a bridge. And I can't really get up the bridge. Wait, that's not a bridge, that's a... Damn it. What is this down here? What are these? I have no clue. Whatever, I cannot get sidetracked. Where am I going? Yeah. Okay. Might as well attempt to get... I just have to ride that, Dang, a robo-dog.
I'll protect us.
Hold on. Cause I want to get these points, so I'm not just like stuck in some areas, you know? Let me see. Elevator? Yeah. I want to get these points so I don't have to just bring this up, please. Where? Wait. Am I where? Okay, water. All good. So where is this thing at? Do I have to go higher? Because I don't see a red thing anywhere. It's over there. I have to take a long ass path. Damn. Well, I'm here. I'll get that in time. You're alive. It's fine. We'll get this.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
In that case, I'll go order for us first.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Yeah. Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell
Something
meal,
off of
but
this
we
thing?
could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Did where are her two dudes
Very
at?
true.
Silver and
Boss, we'll have another
Mustache.
2 dishes.
Boss.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was...
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see.
It didn't. Not at all.
So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this
Doesn't have a filter at all.
When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is...
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person... Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine...
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know...
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fontaine?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kinda salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, if we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Ew, right? Did not sound appetizing.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
I'm not.
Okay.
Whatever.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
One out of two talks finished. Oh my god, hold up hearts. I said hearts. House. Oh, let's navigate. Ew. I'll teleport here. I need to get this stuff discovered. That's a priority. It's a major priority. I have little pieces. That's a waypoint. Get this right here. You gotta get all that shit. Turn your shit back. Damn, I can't say nothing to you.
There aren't many people around anymore.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Oof. That's kind of...
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's... Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
I don't be wanting to do that, but I don't know why your brother's so damn sensitive. I think he gotta turn stuff off.
My dear Vache.
That shit is weird, cause I'm just talking shit.
Wait.
Like you ain't used to your daddy yet.
Be someone else.
If you wanna think about what I'm saying and check something else out,
You know
do it.
where my love is.
But I ain't making you do nothing.
I'm
just talking my shit, son.
Who am I?
You sensitive though.
I'm very sorry. I
feminine.
do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
She was
Yes,
human?
that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this
Just
either.
understand why I get so mad about
I only vaguely remember
life,
being
dog.
covered
You
in
gotta
light
know how to
blue
stand
water,
on your square.
and then all grew dim.
And if somebody say something to you,
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me.
And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could. No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing
Oh, yeah.
I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing.
This
If
is
only I could
very
have comforted
sad.
him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth. Is that what you call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release.
As a guy,
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an
gotta really
endless peace, like the water's still surface.
people with their emotions.
I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
You gotta be secure. in
I
what's
think
going
I hear your companion.
on. That's what people come
It's
to the
time for
artist.
you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Quick, now's our chance!
Yo. When did this battle start? And I climbed just running through him like insane. Makes me wish I started pulling for her instead of Ganyu. Are y'all friends or were friends? Not gonna lie. Right? Like, shit. Makes you kind of want
Thank you for lending us your sword.
go
there,
for her
Chlorand.
instead. I'm already 40 deep in Ganyu.
Before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr.
Please,
Callus's
come
last
here, dude.
wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust.
Oh,
do the
shit.
same.
She was hired by
Do
her
not speak of
father.
my father.
Sorry.
So they were like, she was the guard, and y'all kind of became friends.
But
And
do
then his
keep an
father
eye out for your manner of speech.
Damn.
I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in—
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearance. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Huh. I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with them is—
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones you— I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula?
Yes. Be careful, and do—
I will continue investigating, no matter what. We will bring the— Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarant. But, if you get any ideas, tell me first.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
That does seem complicated. Whatever that was
Right.
between them.
I suppose
I
that's
want to
the
know
best
why I was
news
just
we've gotten
straight
tonight.
up knocked out.
Demoiselle,
Why that
I
started.
believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you.
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorant who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. As such, we're still partners. There's—
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on a...
All right, you two.
Little
That's
hints
enough.
to kissing.
Actually,
Someone
Nadia,
Fontaine's
I didn't know
story.
that we were in danger. You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed?
Yes. All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kinda salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that—
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as...
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of. And almost— Speaking of which, did anything strange happen?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
Sounds like.
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel?
Wanna know?
While you were out cold?
Sure.
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important.
For sure.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater.
But you know Fontaine tried to hear
Could
something?
he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll—
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get—
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of...
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
If you don't hear it, try to mute the music. Okay. Middle of Fontaine. Where exactly is that? Let's just zoom out as far as I can. Okay. So the middle of Fontaine. Oh shit. Wait. Wouldn't that be like right here? Next to you? Oh, oh, it's just the fountain. Okay. Never mind. Okay. So I hear nothing. So I'm gonna mute the music. The middle of it? Lower. In here?
Whether it takes me uphill, downhill, or out to the sticks. I get the goods from A to B. I'll even take him across the sea if needed. So don't worry, you're in safe hands. They don't call me the gold standard guard for nothing.
I try midnight. I try turning it to midnight. Sad? Yeah, I hear nothing. Let me check. Yeah, I hear nothing. I don't know. My ears might just be fucked up, but I don't hear anything. Well, is it only like move the other effects? Just need dialogue on? Oh, wait, that's the clock. Settings. Audio. So, we just turn off everything. Turn off volume, just leave dialogue. Do I turn off anything else? SFX volume. Oh, shit. Oh. Turn down this? Oh, SFX off. Turn back on the music. I have no clue what you mean. No music. Okay.
Boom booms and eyes, and boom booms and mouth. And I need to tighten up that part.
Why no? I have no clue. Okay, yeah. There's still sounds. It's just not. I don't know. That's weird. I have no clue. Well, before I get off, there is one thing I want to do. I want to claim my what was it? The thing from the Adventurers Guild. I'm gonna claim this real quick.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
Oh, and this. I forgot about this.
Ad Astra Ab. Thank you for completing today's commission.
More primos. Thank you, thank you. Alright. Now, good night, madness.